So what do all of these cool records have in common? They were all created by a company called Mondo, and as you can see, Mondo didn't just create your average record on vinyl. They became one of the biggest soundtrack record labels by evolving a method they dubbed the art of soundtracks. Did you know that vinyl album sales in the United States have seen a consistent growth since 2005? And with just under 1 million LPs sold in 2005, 2019 saw 18.8 million LPs sold in the US. That's a 14% increase from 2018. And yeah, even though sales of digital songs, albums, and physical CDs have declined, vinyl sales grew by double digits and now make up just over 1/4 of all physical album buys. People have speculated on the many reasons behind this unexpected revival of vinyl. Among the speculations are a perceived superior sound quality by some, nostalgia, the act of listening to music on vinyl, LP packaging, and the practice of collecting. And although vinyl album sales are being led by classic artists like Beatles, Pink Floyd, David Bowie, soundtracks, they've had an impact on vinyl sales too. Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 1 led all individual vinyl album sales in 2018. It's not just sales where soundtracks are having an impact on vinyl records. Thanks to record labels like Death Waltz, Mondo, and Waxwork Records, soundtracks have been at the forefront of creativity and innovation in vinyl albums. In 2011, there was one company perfectly placed to advance a new sort of golden age of soundtracks and vinyl. Back in 2011, Mondo had achieved a great deal of success and admiration for their creative work with original film posters. A company that started out as Mondo Tees, its origin is rooted within Austin, Texas, and the acclaimed Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. In 2001, Alamo Drafthouse Cinema CEO Tim Lee turned an abandoned ticket booth at the original Austin Alamo Drafthouse location into a t-shirt pop under the name Mondo Tees. Here's Team Lee on the early days of Mondo. My father built us a set of shelves for t-shirt inventory. We bought a new iron-on heat press, and we began accumulating vintage iron-ons from eBay, ordering new ones from Bang-On. And in the meantime, Lester began making exclusive designs for us. Mondo Tees was born. After a fair amount of cult success, in 2004, inspired by the music gig posters, Rob Jones created a series of posters for an event called Cinemia. The hand silkscreen gig poster aesthetic applied to cult movie titles proved to be monumentally successful for Mondo. Here's Mondo co-founder and creative director Rob Jones on the early days of Mondo. We started ramping up and getting prints made for whatever film or event came to the theater that caught our attention. There were lots of phone calls discussing what should be attacked and whose gun should do the shooting. It felt like the Wild West days of gig posters all over again, before bands began to exert more control over the scene. However, from my gig poster experiences, I knew those days were numbered as our efforts gained more attention from the studios. Afterwards, Mondo started to build up acclaim for its poster work, with its watershed moment coming in 2010 with a series of Star Wars posters by Tyler Stout. Mondo established itself as a leading creator in film collectibles. Throughout, Mondo also developed a roster of acclaimed designers like Tyler Stout, Kevin Ton, Jay Shaw, and Ken Taylor. These two elements played a big role when Mondo ventured into releasing soundtracks. In 2011, Mondo announced its new record label, along with the release of their first soundtrack on vinyl, Maniac by Jay Shadoway. The LP featured new artwork by established artist Ken Taylor, was limited to 500 copies, with 175 randomly inserted color vinyl. However, it was Mondo's second vinyl release that had ripple effects on vinyl soundtracks. In 2012, they announced that they would be releasing the soundtracks to the 2011 hit movie Drive. Tyler Stout was tasked to design artwork for the packaging. This was the perfect storm, all the right elements coming together at the perfect time. Stout, the artist who years before had been instrumental in Mondo's success with posters, Drive, an instant soundtrack hit that would go on to be considered one of the best of the decade. The result was a huge success. It didn't matter that the soundtrack from Drive had already come out on vinyl by Invada Records. This one was truly a one-of-a-kind limited collector's item. From consequenceofsound.net, here's what Michael Huffman wrote at the time. However, any vinyl enthusiasts out there who share even the slightest love of the film that I do probably laid down a pretty penny for its accompanying soundtrack on wax. I know I did. It's pink, it was shipped from overseas. Well, get ready to dish out some more money. Mondo continued growing its vinyl soundtrack catalog, gaining praise for releases like M83's score for Oblivion, a collection of Studio Ghibli films, Looper, and many more. However, its second watershed moment came in 2014 with the release of film music icon John Williams' Jurassic Park. With this release, Mondo created two versions. The first, with original artwork by J.C. Richard, featured randomly inserted versions of a Dilophosaurus colored vinyl. The second version featured artwork by Dan McCarty with a translucent amber color vinyl. Vinyl color had been around for a long time. However, Dilophosaurus color vinyl wasn't just a color vinyl. It had a connection to a character of the film. Same for the translucent amber vinyl. They're both connected to the film in a thematic way. And although Mondo didn't pioneer the practice of naming vinyl color variants, their design demonstrated a unique thematic connection with the film. The art of soundtracks was created. So what makes this new wave of vinyl soundtracks something more than your average limited collector's item? What makes it an art form? There's three components. First, the artwork design. The new trends in vinyl packaging design don't just involve creating custom new packaging. The art form kicks in when an artist is given the opportunity to create a new work of art that has a cohesive, creative connection to a film. That connection can be presented by capturing a tone of a film. In his work for Blade Runner 2049, Viktor Kovalchuk captured the tone by incorporating elements such as rain, neon glow, grandeur holographic images, CDs, reflection, and so forth. Matthew Woodson captured the eeriness of the mysterious scenery in the classic Planet of the Apes. And some artists express their connection to a film by depicting specific imagery or scenes from it, like Phantom City's creative sonic rendering of an iconic moment from Jaws. Another example of this would be Nicole Gustafsson and her creative texture to a pair of iconic images from Ratatouille. And other times, artists decide to pay tribute to a film by applying their style and techniques to celebrate the elements of a film they love. And now the second key component that makes it an art form, vinyl design. Another canvas Mondo has had the chance to be creative with has been that of the record itself. How do you take the practice of colored vinyls and elevate it to an art form? Once again, it comes back to a creative connection with the source material. The beer design on the record Hot Fuzz connects us to the characters of the film and the role pubs and beers have within that film. Lily Dalla's iconic outfit was captured in their release for The Fifth Element. In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the record reminds us of one of the most frightening scenes where a cartoon character is killed by dipping it on acid. And last but not least, the third component, interactive design. In some instances, Mondo's art design for soundtrack vinyl records has pushed the boundaries of both the vinyl format and the art form. By weaving storytelling with art design, an interactive experience is created. In Mondo's release of the soundtrack of Fight Club by the Dust Brothers, artist Alan Hines designed a minimal packaging that looked just like an item from IKEA. But the design had a direct connection to a memorable scene from the film. And it also came with a simple instruction: sacrifice. This meant, in order to open the record, one had to rip apart the packaging. Most vinyl collectors are adamant about preserving the quality and value of a record's packaging. So, the challenge to sacrifice the packaging was truly a daunting one for collectors. It was through creative design that Mondo provided consumers an experience that connected them with the film's cynical take on consumer culture, its rejection of rules, order, and sometimes even beauty. Although vinyl record sales in the US continue to grow in popularity, soundtrack vinyl sales, it's still kind of a niche market. The fact is, the majority of record sales are driven by classic and mainstream popular artists. However, because of the storytelling nature of soundtracks, the fact that its music is created to serve a film's story, the genre offers creative possibilities on vinyl records unlike other music genres. And in the best case scenarios, it can become a new art form itself. Thanks a lot for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Being a new channel, every subscription, like, and comment goes a really long way to help us grow, which ultimately means more videos for you. Thanks for watching and subscribing.